So about a month ago or so, I bought my first Becker knife. I chose to get the BK-17. It kind of reminded me of the old Air Force issue bolt knife as far as the blade shape, so I decided to give that one a shot. I'm going to give it a test out for 6 months, but I've already been taking it out and working with it today. The other day I did too. I did some modifications to it. That way it works for what I want it to do. Start off with the sheath. It had 2 snaps on here, so I took off one snap and I put a piece of bungee on there with a little handle so that I can move this retention strap on and off. Just went through a couple of grommets that were right there, but most of the time I leave the snap on. I'm not quite 100% sold on the sheath yet. I might end up making a leather sheath for it, but that's alright. I like the little pouch that it has on it. For me, I'm able to keep my fire steel lanyarded off to it so I don't lose it. That works pretty well. Now it's got all kinds of grommet holes and stuff like that to put it through. It's got molly attachments. I don't need 2 snaps on this. I'm not jumping out of airplanes or anything like that, so I don't have to have 2 points of retention. But most of the time when I'm carrying it, I leave that open and that slips over the top and keeps it from flopping around. But if I know I'm not going to use it for a while, I put the snap on it. So that's for the sheath. That's what I did. Now the knife itself, I stripped all the black coating off of it, and I just used a paint stripper I got at Wally World for that. Stripped it right off, worked real well. I put the peanut butter colored handles on it because it kind of looked like like the look of it. I rounded off the sharp edges on here because I like to be able to pound down on my knives. So I took a file and did that. I added a piece of an inner tube on here to make it a little grippier. I really like that. It works real well. It's a real small, skinny inner tube that I put on there, and it slid. It was a pain in the butt to get on there, but it paid off pretty well. I took a file and took off the secondary edge on it and made it the same angle as the original grind on it. I find it's easier to sharpen. I've been out here beating on this thing. Let's see how sharp it is still. Look at all that filth. Now some hair came off with it too. So it's still sharp enough to shave, and I've been out here beating on it and whooping on it. Another thing that I did was I took a file and I sharpened up the back edge on this. And the reason I do that is obviously so I can strike a fire steel. For me, it's important to have my fire steel and a way to strike it with me all the time. So that's what I've done with it so far. Now I've used it to, been practicing a new bow and drill deal. I got a little bit of tinder here I made up, and I collected that with a knife and cut these pieces out with a knife, with this knife, little basswood, little box elder. And then I saw Madison Parker on Equipped to Endure show how to do a natural cordage string for bow and drill. So I've been practicing with this. Almost got a call earlier, but kind of run out of steam now. I'm sweaty and filthy, so we'll see if we can give it a shot another day. But it's working real well. Obviously, you know, use it just to clean up this stick and chop it off. Another thing I like about it so far is I can choke back on it and give a few whacks with it. But so far, it's going to be pretty good. So we got another 5 months of testing. But anyway, I just want to show you a few modifications that I've done on this and the sheath to make it do what I want it to do.